Yeah. Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played between Zsadok playing CLKA, and he's going up against Jewbacca playing 4th Motorised on East Germany. So we'll cover the deck reviews, then the map, the matchup, the deployments in the game, and as always timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Zsadok, and he's playing CLKA. Pretty funny division, a bit of a weird one, kind of hard to quantify. So yeah, we'll go through it tab by tab, and I'll just say what I see, right? So first things first, if you're going to be getting these to fire in all game, you're probably going to need 3 cards of supply if you actually want them to shoot all game. It's kind of hard to get that done otherwise. So that's worth thinking about. In terms of your supply options, you've really only got you have only got these two. So you get the cheaper one and you get the more expensive one. I mean, that's just very normal. And then in terms of CV options, you've got 3 wheeled, 2 tracked, and this is also sort of classed as tracked. So it's not got the wheeled road speed. You see, this goes at 100, this goes at 80, which is the faster tracked road speed despite it being a wheeled vehicle. So bit of a weird one. So 3, 4, 5, 7 CVs. So you could go down to 6 and get this and just have a nice cheap CV, but I mean, you know, it's neither here nor there really. So this is obviously a wheeled CV, but this is at 90, this is at 100. So it's just whatever you want really. Infantry, I think this thing's terrible. I don't understand why he's brought it. I have tried it myself. I cannot get any value out of this at all. 15 points for a Dragon 1 with 2 HP. It even goes slower than, like, so it's just, yeah, just get rid of that. Commandos are really good. Yes, you want commandos, of course. Really, really, really good squad. It's got, you know, so a rifle... a machine gun has like 2 rifle shooty power, and a sniper is like 4 rifles. So a DMR even. So this is 4 plus 4 plus 8, which is like 16 shooty power. So they're pretty good at shooting people. So yeah, you want 2 cards of those. That's like a must bring. Then yeah, so tank Jaegers. I mean, they can work. I don't know. I personally don't like them. Double Carl Gustav can be nice, but why not just bring regular inf, right? So either bring 7 or 9 strength for 40 or 50 points. The advantage is that this transport's better than this transport because it goes faster and it's got smoke and it's got the same gun. It's just this has 2 side armor and this is 1 side armor, but it goes faster, so it's just kind of better. So prefer this personally. And you can get the same one with a law, but with 2 machine guns if you really want. So anyway, you need the well, okay. You can bring the 12-man squad because you don't have any satchels, right? Because this is just a terrible squad. It's got militia and reservist, and it's no vet. So you have to run up to the enemy to throw a satchel at him, and you never get up to him because he just suppresses you straight away because you're bad. So if you actually want to like win town fights, the commandos are really good for it, and I like having like a Marechaussee MG, like, because it's got 11 Uzis, so it's pretty good at close range. So that can work, and you can get it in this military police vehicle. Then, you know, you can also bring, like, nators and stuff. I'm trying to remember what I do, actually. Brain's not working today, sorry. Where is my deck? So I bring commandos, infantry, nators, and the Marechaussee and the Ito. Yeah, so that's one way of doing it. You bring the nators at 1 vet, and then you bring the military police, and you assist the nators with the because this is 35 points for 9 guys, so it's really not so bad. And if you put the military police next to it, then it's not even reservist anymore. So, so that's how I do it. Otherwise, yeah, I suppose you could just sort of bring one of everything. I mean, so yeah, I personally would like get rid of So this is quite a nice squad. Anti-infantry squad. It's just got no AT. Beweging mobile. But the two Uzis kind of bring it down. But it's got 3 machine guns, so... And yeah, you can use tank Jaegers if you want, or you can just drown the enemies in 2 cards of Nators and the Marechaussee. So, I mean, there's a case to be made for either way, right? You can sneak these around the side and annoy people, so that's cool. This is decent against infantry, but you've got commandos which are good against infantry, so I feel like it's a bit redundant, but whatever. And this is just, infantry. Is it worth paying 10 points for 2 more guys? I don't know. I prefer the better transport, though. And then in terms of your CV options, I bring this one as well, because it's 8 guys with AT and smoke. Whereas this is 4 guys with no smoke. This is 7 guys with no smoke. It's terrible MG. This has smoke, but it's only 4 strength. And this is 10 guys with laws and smoke. So the advantage of the commandos is that they're max special forces. And they get good optics when they're stood still, and they've got 2 machine guns. The only issue is that Uzis kind of bring you down. Depending on where you're shooting from. But yeah, either one can work, right? You can just have more HP, and then that's what you want in a CV, right? Lots of HP. But yeah, I bring the commando guys. So whichever one you want. Commando guys are faster, because they're max special forces, so they move faster. So I think that's more important, because you can run away faster, basically, or run towards faster. RT we spoke about, so what I would say is that this should be in the YPR, because that has armor, so you can survive counter battery when you load it up. This is obviously a little bit faster, right? 90 versus 75. But it's better to load this into that so it doesn't get counter battery. Whereas if you load it back into the truck, this will probably explode. And then yeah, I bring these 2 as well. Really, really nice howitzer. It's just it's hard to like we could put the 3rd card of supply there, but what did I even get rid of? Sorry, I'm all over the place today. So, yeah, don't bring those. So yeah, you can bring the... Oh yeah, I got rid of the dragon ones. So you can bring like the Marechaussee as your anti-infantry, and then you don't need Beweging Mobile, if that makes sense, because they sort of have the same role of anti-infantry, and you've already got the commandos, right? And then you can just bring a bunch of Nators in the YPRs, which is what I like to do. So obviously I'm just sort of turning it into the way I build it now, but you can just get rid of these and bring more Nators, like if you want. I mean, it can work, I suppose. It's just like if you sneak this around the side, it can be really annoying, I guess. But as a frontline squad, it's only got 5 HP. It's probably not going to live very long. And usually, if you need a Carl Gustav, you've got one here, right? And laws are usually enough to make the enemy tank go away. If not, obviously you're not going to kill it, right? But it's just personal preference, right? There's nothing wrong with the way it was built before. It's just this is how it fits in my head, so whatever. Tanks, so the Pratt has a toe too, whereas the Pwat is an I-toe. I still only got mediocre stealth. It is a bit faster, but I mean, you might as well pay 5 points more and get the good one, right? This thing's terrible. It should really have more than 7 availability for a toe 1. It's just dreadful, really. And then, yeah, the Centurions are good on the defensive, kind of. Like, they're quite a nice, cheap tank. This is a good tank at the start of the game. CV tank. And then, basically, right, so this is military police. So it will increase suppression, regeneration, and whatnot. So what I personally do is I bring this at Novet, and then I get this to follow it around. And give it, because you could just buy it, because it's only 35 points, do Shift F and just always buy one of these with the Leopard 2, and then I've got 4 Leopard 2s. But it's kind of hard to micro, and, it's just kind of easier to just bring these at 1 vet and have not as many of them. So, yeah, you could do what you like, really. It's probably, this is the safer option. Recon, so Alouette. You can pay 15 points more for a gun and be faster. I think I do that. I think I like the gun for the start of the game, but whatever. Either one is viable. It's faster, so that's useful. CV thing the military police thing we spoke about. It's just pretty useful to have if you're going to have this at Novet. Otherwise, yes, you can still put it with your tank and give it very good optics. And then the C&V, Very, very good. Very much worth using. And then, yeah, recon. So I feel like there's probably not enough infantry recon here. And if you... these aren't reservist. And so if you bring in this at 1 vet, I don't actually think you need this. This is just if you're bringing it at no vet. And then you can bring... you can just get, like, way more recon out, right? So now you've got Mechanised, right? 6 guys. They're only 4 men, but it's nice cheap recon, and it comes in a recon vehicle, so that's... Now you've got lots of recon. Because otherwise, you're going to burn through these quite quickly, and then you're not going to have any recon. So, any infantry recon. Stingers, yes. Eyehawk, yes. Listen, this is actually... So I covered this in a different video, so I won't go through it all again. But basically, the Maxon does more DPS than the Bofors, even though it's cheaper and more available. That's just how it works. So if you're going to bring this to shoot people, you might as well bring the Maxon. Helis, so these are Cobras, right? Good for shooting people. And then, yeah, this... You can only bring 2 Cobras if you want, and then you can... You've already kitted out your air tab. What would you even bring? I suppose you could bring 3 more infantry if you got rid of 2 Cobras. Sorry, 1 more card of infantry if you got rid of the Cobras. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you probably got enough infantry, I suppose. There's a lot of infantry there, and you've got some more here now, so... Yeah, it can work. And then this is for ATGMing, right? So yeah, this is the way I play the div is I just air spam people with it. And I think it's pretty funny. So the seed is kind of bad, but you just use it to soak. These 2 are really, really, really good because they reload in 60 seconds. So it won't one-shot a heavy tank, but, you know, it reloads in 60 seconds. And then this reloads in 4 minutes, but will one-shot the heavy tank, I guess. This plane needs to go up in price, really. Since they made the Sparrow go up in range, which is a change I agree with, this plane is just ridiculously cost-efficient now. It's absolutely absurd. So that's it for CLKA. His opponent is playing 4th East German. So... 7-8, okay. Right. Yeah, 3 cards of supply can work, I suppose. If you're going to be firing upvetted Akatsias all game. But honestly, if you're going to bring 3 cards of supply... Well, no, as 4th, you really don't want to be bringing the RM70 because it just slows you down too much. And then CV, so this is 3, 6, 8 CVs, which is quite a lot. I guess he doesn't want a forward deployed CV because this would be the forward deployed CV. And yeah, like you could like 8 CVs is quite a bit. So if you've got RT and you want it updated and stuff, what you can do is get rid of this and get this one. It's super cheap. You lose 1 availability, but it's literally you can buy 2 of these for less than the price of this. And then you can just buy 1 of these with your RT and just always have that, and you can buy 1 for your Cubs or whatever. 3 cards of supply can work, I suppose. In terms of, like, so the Pioneer Flam should not be in an MTLB. I personally do not like Pioneer Flam, but I've seen them win tournaments, so they are viable, I suppose. And then, yeah, Mott shots in the BMP ones is very useful. This is incredibly cost efficient for 30 points. Mott shots in BTR, Mott shots in BTR. Why not Mott shots in SVD instead of one of those? This is really good. Because it's got a DMR, which, as we just spoke about, is like 4 rifles. So this is 4 plus 4 plus 5, which is 13 quick maths. Whereas this is, 6 plus 4. This is 10 shooty power. So this is obviously better at shooting people. But the AT's worse, right? And then Fallschirmjäger. So, yeah, you can bring them if you want. I'll show you my 4th deck after this. I play a lot of 4th. I like it a lot. And then Fallschirmjäger Metis is the one you kind of have to bring. It's really, really good at the start of the game with the Metis and whatnot. Pioneer Flam we spoke about. So how do I build this? I think I actually have like 2 fewer slots of infantry, so I just don't have the Fallschirmjäger and don't have the Pioneer Flam. And then that allows me to get... Right, 1 sec. Yeah, but okay, so what's the... It's a 2. Okay. And then that allows me to get 2 more cards of planes, because I mean, the whole point of this div is you're kind of supposed to air spam. So that's how I do it. I just bring a bit less infantry. So yeah, this should be like that, and this should be... I'm not sure it's an SVD in my estimation. So yeah, RT, you can, you know, you can just... Right, so this is how I would do it. Obviously, you don't have to copy me, right? So I don't really think you need this. I don't really think you need this. Then that gives you 5, and then you get rid of this and downvet that, and then that gives you 7 points, and then you can get more planes. So you can get like a second card of fighters, and you can get the seed. This thing is useful. This is good for bombing people, I guess. This one can one-shot a heavy tank if it drops on it. This is good if you evac it right before it shoots the missile. It'll still shoot the missile, and then so you can do it from like max range with the seed. It's kind of hard to get right, but it's a lot of fun. Whereas this, it's got the same missile, but it flies a lot lower to the ground, so it's actually a lot harder to do that with. And then... yeah, so you want the T-55A. It's really good at the start of the game. So I'd get rid of this and give you the T-55A. The mortar you want in a tracked thing for the same reason as the CLKA one. SPW Conquer is good for sneaking around the sides and annoying people. This thing can be good on the defense. I personally don't bring it. I think I swapped this out for the second card of T-55s. Oh, right, yeah. Oh yeah, and because of the extra spot, we can get, you know, an extra helo or what have you, so you can get a COCOM one. Right, I prefer more dumbfire missiles, but you can get either one. So, yeah, Motorised Avclarer I'd swap out for these guys. Really good squad. Satchels, smoke, special forces and whatnot. And then these guys are good as well. Recon Helo, sure. I bring this as well. I'm trying to figure out how I think I bring fewer CVs maybe, or I don't bring the third card of supply. Like, I don't actually think you need 3 cards of supply on this division. And that gives you 3 points. And then you can, yeah. So, forward deployed Strelas, I actually bring the Igler instead, because it just performs way better. And then at the start of the game, for my forward deployment, I just always buy a plane or 2. But yeah, this can work. It's just basically what happens is if the enemy's got a brain, the helo will watch you unload and then just shoot you with the rockets, and you will probably miss, and then that'll be the end of that. If you're going to be bringing the Shilka, you need to upvet it. And, yeah. Sorry, I've made a real pig's ear of this. Where did I get rid of it? You can bring the third card supply if you want, right? So that's all the tabs. Bit of a weird one. Sorry, I didn't get much sleep last night. But this is mine. So I do actually bring the 3 cards of supply. I just only bring 5 CVs. Oh no, I do bring 7 because I bring extra in here. I bring regular pioneers. And yeah, I bring the Strela 1 wheeled because I think it's really funny because you can just drive it around the side and annoy people with it. So I send the Conquers around the side, and this is on the Conquer chassis, so that goes with it, and then you you snipe the enemy reinforcements. They send the helo, and this shoots down the helo. The only problem is it only carries 4 missiles, so and it's only got 50% accuracy. So if you get poor RNG, you only hit them once out of 4, which is quite rare. But you know, does happen, and then it kills you. So that's not great. And the reason I bring the Gwozdika for smoke instead of the mortar was because I was messing around with that because the mortars get counter batteried. But it doesn't make much sense because you get corrected shot, and then this just doesn't do its job properly because of the corrected shot. So there we go, I've swapped that back. That's it for the deck reviews. Now let's talk about the game, etc. Right, so with that out of the way, Kreide, man, I do not like this map. I personally think Red has a huge advantage because they can just take Bravo. And taking Delta is really hard. Taking Foxtrot's kind of easy because you get to here and you can just shoot all the way down there. Delta, you know, you've got this defense position, this position, this position, these positions, this position, this position, right? So I prefer being on the red side. Also, blue can like hide down here. Okay, great. Red gets all these buildings, so for middle. So I think red has much better time. In terms of the matchup, I think 4th East German's better than CLKA. CLKA is not a bad division. It's a bit of a weird one. It's got a bit of everything. Sort of a bunch of medium tanks, which are kind of meta right now. Nice artillery, really nice air tab. Decent helicopters, decent infantry, but no IFVs. So, and Ihawks and Stingers, so it's actually a pretty good deck. Very meta in terms of like what it's good at. Medium tanks are kind of meta basically, but 4th East German gets medium tanks as well. So and it gets better forward deployed. It gets airborne forward deployed. Gets a really good plane tab as well. Gets okay artillery, decent AA Cubs, right? What's not to like? So and it gets helicopters as well. So I think 4th East German's better than CLK personally. Looking at the deployments, we've got Jewbacca here, and he's sending a forward deployed Strela, Fallschirmjäger and Fallschirmjäger Metis to the middle point between Foxtrot and Delta, and then the MI2 to Golf just to check it out. Tank behind, so he clearly wants to push Foxtrot. Then he's got forward deployed Strela, Fallschirmjäger Metis, and a recon unit going to here, so he can move up to there presumably. And the Conkers, and the Conkers, and the T-55, the Bastion one. So I forgot to mention this in the deck review. I bring these down there so I can get as many Bastion missiles as possible. But he also brings the anti-tank gun with the Bastion missiles, this thing. So, you know, this is called Bastion, by the way. They just call it something dumb because they want you to just not have fun, basically. Really, really nice missile. Very nice range, nice accuracy, and it's super fast. Can one-shot a BMP-2. It's a bit stupid, really. So, yeah, definitely expecting to be attacked on mid. And he's also sending a lot to the right. So, Strela, Fallschirmjäger, Fallschirmjäger, Fallschirmjäger Metis. Recon going... Okay. And the Einsatz Gruppe, but he doesn't bring the one with satchels. And, yeah, an anti-tank gun behind. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Zsadok playing CLKA. He's opened 2 fighters. And that's because he's open with a bunch of helicopters. So you need the fighters to cover your helicopters. So I don't watch these games ahead of time, but I spoke about this in the deck review, how the forward deployed Strelas I think are just really bad. And so if you want to do a forward deployed as 4th, which you always do, you should basically just always open fighters as 4th. 2 of the cheaper ones, which he doesn't actually bring. But yeah, so we'll see how these... We'll see if I'm right, basically. But basically, you know, this thing just tends to miss, and then the hog just kills you. So that's the issue. And he's got 2 fighters covering it. So yeah, loads of helos. Loads of helos. Just basically a recon and an attack helo down every lane. And then on the left, we've got 1 recon unit, 1 C and V. So one recon infantry and 1 C and V. It's interesting that it's going to here. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then 1 commando. So he's outmatched in terms of infantry, but if the helo can shoot everybody, then that's all good. Spoke about this in the deck review. These are worse than the Maxons. So, at least against infantry. I mean, I suppose they've got 3,000 meters anti-aircraft range, but presumably you get them for anti-infantry. And at which point the Maxon's actually better at it and cheaper and more available. Because you got Ihawks if you want to shoot down a plane, like... Anyway, recon trying to get over to here with the C and V, I guess because the hog isn't really covering this. So this is quite aggressive, right? You'd expect the enemy to get there first because he actually starts further forwards. So this is airborne forward deployed, whereas this is recon forward deployed. 90 kilometers an hour, 90 kilometers an hour. And then, yeah, another Bofors and an infantry. On the right, we've got a recon, so that we're expecting an early clash here. And then a C and V. And I guess for golf is the helo, I suppose. So let's see how it goes. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners. Generously joining the channel, they get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. 1 join at the lowest levels worth 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. This is my sole source of income as I fail my PhD. It is going absolutely terribly, I gotta tell you. I'll do an update video at some point. I haven't fully failed yet, but it's looking pretty bad, I have to tell you. Anyway, that's why I shill a lot. So, as you can see, the Strela has missed. And the Strela has missed. And everybody's dying in... Yeah, I don't watch these ahead of time. It's just that's happened to me so many times that I just... There you go, this one hit, actually. And that one missed. So yeah, this hog should be focusing down that Strela. This doesn't load in time. And so the whole forward deployment's being killed by the helos. And this is... It's basically exactly my point with this div. So it's nice to be vindicated, I suppose. So you see that some of the helos are dying. Although I think all the rocket ones survived. It was just the recon ones that died. And, you know, the CMV... Meta should really kill that. Yeah, this is probably not going to make it either. So quite an aggressive deployment from CLKA, considering 4th is supposed to be the forward deployed div, right? And you see he's sort of paying for it a bit now. Those Bofors, I mean, yeah, Maxim's better if you want to hurt people. Yeah, I think it's got like twice the DPS. Might be 1.5 times instead of twice. Anyway, the commandos are really, really, really good. Spoke about this in the deck review. Got very high shooty power, and yeah, so they should be able to clean this up really, because they were all wounded by the helo, which is currently running out of ammo, shooting an MTLB apparently. And yeah, you notice that neither side brought. So really, what Red needs to do here is just buy 2 Cubs, because I mean these would just die straight away, or at least they'd be evac. So you know, if you got to know your opponent's division. Like, this is not very smart at all. Against a div with Cubs or Ihawks, you don't really want to be doing that. Because he can just buy one at any time and he's going to start hitting you. So, and like, this has lost a couple HP, so this would actually die in 1 hit to a Cub. So yeah, so it's slowing down a bit now. So like Blue, he got a lot of kills with the helos, and they didn't die. The attack ones didn't anyway, which is good. But then he hasn't really capitalized on it too much. Basically, if you're on the blue side, it's best to try and take Bravo, and then just sort of play around this area and use that to push into Charlie. Because for Charlie, right, if you lose Bravo, then you can't put a guy here, so you lose Charlie as well. So that's kind of annoying. And you see how bad these are, right? I just people see that it's got like a higher millimeter than the Maxon, and they think, oh, it must be better. No, the Maxon's got significantly more DPS than the Bofors for some reason, despite being cheaper. Anyway, plane's out, and it's going straight on the AA, which makes a lot of sense. And the AA dies. So this will be back in about a minute if he evacs it now. And there's the Cub, and there goes the Phantom. I'm telling you, I do not watch these ahead of time. It's just, you know, you play a lot of Warno, you got to think, this is probably what's going to happen. I'm not always right. But yeah, this is just not being resupplied, and so this is just going to stick around, I guess, till it runs out of fuel. This is the... is this the expensive one? No, I think it's the cheap one. And this is why, one of the reasons why it's so much harder for Blue, because like Red can just put a tank here, and then well, you can't get in here anymore, haha, to get shot. So like this just needs to be moved up a little bit, and then it can shoot all the way down here with the Bastion. So the Centurion's going to try and climb the hill. Not sure if it's actually possible to do that in real life. I guess the main issue is that this is about to get side shot. Usually they turn to face the enemy. It's just that time it just didn't do it. I don't know why. It's a bit weird. Anyway, Strela finally hit something. And yeah, if you're Blue in this situation, you just want to double down on Bravo, slowly cap Foxtrot Golf, and then once you've got Bravo sorted, you try and get up to here, and then you can get this into, you get a CV, like this can just go sit, yeah, like that. And then you make sure you've got people here, like an ACGM and whatnot, to make sure they can't just walk across this field and kill you. And if you have Golf and you have Bravo and you don't have Charlie, then, well, even if you have half a Charlie, right, you'd be winning. So this needs to get over to Golf. I'd be putting, you know, a couple guys in here, basically. He's got the Recon Helo, I suppose. It's in a bit of a weird spot. I can't actually see anything. The hogs are there. So, yeah, the grenade launch is pretty good against infantry. Probably don't have to tell you that. Yeah. So, if this can just shoot, then these will eventually die. So you basically need to get some tanks up here, some like the Centurions, yeah, but the Leopard 1Vs I think are better for it. Anyway, the Shilka is getting clustered again. But yeah, you always want to focus the AA with the planes over anything else, because if you kill the AA, then if you kill all the AA you know about, then then your plane shouldn't die. So it just makes sense, right? Bringing the Leopard 2 out is a bit risky when you've not got any AA. Like there's no iHawk or anything. That's why medium tanks are sort of a bit more recommended. But yeah, Blue's on a +1, and if he sort of wakes up a bit with respect to golf, then he can be on a +2. So this is going well so far. As for Red, I mean, Fourth's main advantage is at the start of the game, right? Because of the forward deployment. So he the fact that he's not in a good position is kind of bad. He can still do things, right? For starters, he needs to get his AA net sorted, so he just needs to buy a couple cubs, right? I mean, the thing with Kreide is that the ticks aren't very high, like the point ticks. So like right now, Blue's on a +1. It's actually going to take him longer than is left in the game to get 2,000 points. So you can afford to take a couple of minutes to get some cubs and get them all resupplied and whatnot, buy an RTPs, because it's going to be a long game. Or well, I mean, obviously somebody could surrender, but usually it's going to be a long game on Kreide. So yeah, no AA cover. So what? Oh, he just okay. I guess he figured the Shilka would finish it off. So yeah, a bit of an overextension with these helos. I wonder if... Alright. That was pretty unlucky. I think they missed both times. Although I suppose this one died to the Shilka. Does happen. I mean, so this is a really, really, really good plane for the price. Obviously, now that NATO gets missiles that actually go this far, it's not as unique. This was a bit of a mistake, really. Yeah. He should have kept this up. He should have kept this up and tried to get... Because basically, right, he's just realised that there's no AA here at all. So, like, where are the bombers? Where's the helicopter? Why didn't he leave the plane up? He did, however, manage to get all the way around to here, so that's cool. So he will see what's coming in, I suppose. It's good vision. It's a good idea, actually, but... Usually I like, just blowing up the enemy stuff rather than just watching it. So like a BRDM2 Conkers could do the same job more effectively because it carries more ammo. This only carries 4. And in the meantime, Red's sort of collapsing around Golf. I suppose that's the wrong way of saying it. Red's pushing Golf. And Blue is not. So if Red can get a CV up there, then it's going to be even, right? So Cub's got its mojo back, and 2 shots from the Cub will evac any 1-vet plane, basically. I've not actually tested if 2-vet makes it not evac, but I know, most planes come at 1-vet, because most people don't have vet, and there you go. There you go, wow. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. I'm going on holiday for a week or so, and I don't know. By the time you're watching this, the holiday might be over actually. But yeah, I only got 3 hours sleep, so sorry if I sound like I'm underwater or something. Anyway, CV got taken out there. I mean, that was... I suppose he doesn't know what's here, right? But yeah, it's quite optimistic. The Shilka's going to be a big problem for the Hogs. Like, I guess the plan... if all 3 of them shoot it at once, they should kill it. So, yeah, like that. And, yeah, this is the deck. So, Red's 4th deck only has 1 card of ASFs. And so, that's not ideal. Hog got taken out there. And yeah, it's like he's got 2 MiG-29s and that's it. And the iHawks, if the iHawks kill him, then what's he going to do about all these helicopters and whatnot? Personally, you should up-vet the Shilkas. If you're going to bring a Shilka, I personally prefer bringing the missile ones, but You get 5 shulkers at 1 bit. Anyway, this just shouldn't be in the deck really. It's just sort of a garbage unit. You can get them on MBAD as well. I just don't think they're very good. The MBAD ones at least have like Resolute, and I think they have a rank of veterancy for free. This is just... I mean, you can sort of compare it to like a 7.62 machine gun team, basically, because it's got more range, right? And it's got, you know, it's like a similar idea, but those guys are 4 HP and this is only 2. So that's a big problem, right? So yeah, if you're blue in this situation, you want to own this if possible. A bit of AA wouldn't go amiss, right? A Stinger. That's one of the advantages of 4th East Germany, is that they can just, like at any point in the game, they can just drop a bunch of Hinds on you, and if you're not prepared for it, then they get a lot of ground for that. But yeah, you can see the power of the Dragon 1 here. Oh, you missed it. And yeah, this is sort of what we were speaking about, right? If you get this, then you take this, and you get up here, and then you basically get center. So even though I think the map is red-sided because it's you know, I think it's easier for red to hold this, to take this at the start than it is for blue to take it at the start. If blue does get it, they've got a path into the game, right? So you get these situations where like people don't defend certain flanks and whatnot because they perceive that, you know, oh, this is going to be easy for me, this zone, and so they don't put much there, and then they lose it, so... Anyway, yeah, Eyehawk, okay, so it's got the car with it now, and the Eyehawk one-shots the MiG-21 BIS, because it's only got 8 HP. This is what I was talking about with the Hinds, so you really need to make sure you've got some organic AA in that. It's just weird to me that Red's not bothered buying some more cubs. Like, why is there only 1 cub? Why isn't there a cub here as well? The cub and the shulker work well together. And, you know, it's smart to only use your healer when there's AA cover for it. But generally you want, like, a long-range AA, because, like, this can shoot, but he'll be dead by the time this shoots. See? So you want a cub with it, really, or a... I mean, obviously, it's not every deck gets stuff like that. So yeah, a bit sloppy there, losing a guy in the transport because the SPW shot it. Just decides to fly back over the shulker there. Somehow survives. And yeah, so we've got the C and V Kmart with the Leopard 2, like I spoke about in the deck review. And yeah, if you're going to do that, you can get away with bringing these at Novet. If it's always got that military police vehicle with it, it gets a lot of suppression regeneration. And then you can have 4 Leopard 2s. Whether or not you actually need that in the div, you probably don't, actually, because you get like a lot of... You get a card of Leopard 1s and a card of Centurions, and that can be enough. So here we go, he's going for the shulker, but it moved, so... you might die here, depending on this MiG-29. But yeah, these things are crazy for the price. Like, the fact that they have 10 HP is, like, it's just a trainer jet. People always get upset when I call this a trainer jet. It literally is a trainer jet. People use them as trainer jets. Anyway, still +1 for blue. And there's no more resistance over here. I guess Red's last purchase was the fighter, presumably, or, you know, and then these two. These two, he says, he selects 3 units. So, that was weird. Oh, it's like bugging out on the vehicle. You see how it kept jittering around there? Cause did you see how the missile just went like that? It was, yeah. Anyway, the Phantom finishes it off. This thing's absolutely absurd for the price. A lot of divs get this. Ever since these Sparrows went up in range, it's been pretty silly. So yeah, once you've got, you know, here, you can try and push mid by holding this and whatnot. Attacking Delta is sort of a waste of time. You can do it, right? Even just today, I lost a game where my enemy just bought a big conga line of units and just went straight into Delta. He wasn't anywhere else on the map, and I actually lost that game. So it is possible. It's just, it's sort of what I was talking about before, whereas like, I didn't put much here because it would be dumb to attack this, but then, you know, obviously then he attacked it. And looks like red just calls it there. I mean, blue was in a pretty commanding position, so it's understandable, really. So this is Zsadok, rank 69 with 49 games. And this is Jewbacca, rank 41 with 113 games. 113, no, 126 games. Right? 77 plus 46. Whoa, I am not with it today. 77 plus 46 is 123. Is that what I said? Anyway, yeah, wow. So yeah, pretty interesting game. Like two actually high level players. Yeah. And it looks like, I mean, honestly, the forward deployed Strelas are just garbage. Just open with the planes and bring two cards of ASFs, and then things will go much better for you. Yeah, CLKA heli rush is pretty funny. Certainly, like, so when the div first, when we were first showcasing the div, like the first game we played, somebody did that, and it really messed up the guy, my teammate. So it was a 2v2. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that game. I'll see you in the next one. GG.